The James Harden trade rumors are going wild right now. Two teams are popping up that I didn't expect to be in the trade rumors, but I want to talk about them. So before we start today's video, let's hear your comments down below on who you think is going to trade for James Harden. And it's probably going to be in the next 48 hours. So let's hop in. Let me hear those opinions down below right now. Let's talk about it. Where will James Harden end up? I want to say sorry first to Boston Celtics fan because I love Jaylen Brown, but Jaylen Brown is rumored as the main guy in this trade. So if he does, so Boston Celtics and the Toronto Raptors are the two teams that are, rumored right now to be the favorites, not the 76ers and Nets, even though they're trying. But we're here first talking about the Celtics, then we'll talk about the Raptors. And Jaylen Brown is the first one they're talking about the package being around. He's due $22 million, and I'm assuming that they're going to have to throw in a few other guys. I think also they're going to have to put in PJ Tucker. I know he wants out. Maybe he stays if they just trade James Harden, but maybe they try to package PJ Tucker. That could be there, but they're obviously going to have to package Jaylen Brown, and maybe I don't think they're going to package Tristan Thompson, who they just signed, because of I think that the 30-day rules are it's 65 days you can't trade a player. But we could see Daniel Tice being traded. Maybe I don't know where they're gonna pull out money. Do they have an exception from a few years ago? So that's the question: is they have an exception? That I don't think they have any exception left. Comment down below if you know they have an exception. But it's going to be interesting because if the Celtics do trade for him, which I don't want the Celtics to trade, they're my dad's favorite team, so I do watch a lot of Celtics basketball. And Harden's due $38 million. And it's interesting to think about that. If they do get James Harden, this team is going to be depleted, in my opinion. They're not going to have a lot of depth because I imagine the lineup would be James Harden, Kemba Walker, Jason Tatum. Marcus Smart might have to be packaged in there because Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and a first-round pick. Do you guys think that would be what the trade would be? Because that's what it seems right there. That's $35 million. Daniel Tyson there and a first-round pick. Because then you're going to have Kemba, James Harden, I guess Jason Tatum right there. I don't know who you guys would run out at power forward. I guess you guys would have to move Aaron Nesmith or hope Romeo Langford could work into that rotation and put Jason Tatum continue him at the power forward position, and have Thompson and Daniel Tice if you end up keeping him, or I'm wondering if they want young guys or they'll take Daniel Tice at the center position, because I'll just change things up because I feel like these guys will lose a lot of depth. I think you'll still be a third seed in the NBA if the Celtics take them, but I really think that just changes up the whole dynamic of things, because now you don't have Marcus Smart, who I think is the defensive leader. I think this team becomes very, very offensive heavy, which is fine, but the problem now, of all of Harden's former teams, they're going to just fucking suck at defense. I really don't think they're going to be a really good defensive team without Marcus Smart. I mean, Peyton Pritchard, first of all, I made a video on him. Go check that out. But the next thing you know, I'm thinking, damn, I don't know if Peyton Pritchard's going to be able to be that guy immediately. Maybe in a year. Hopefully he can have a Tyler Hero season, but because I know he's 22 years old, so you could be like Tyler Hero or Malcolm Brogdon, where they have an immediate impact, and he could fill those shoes. But I know those are big shoes. Marcus Smart, I think, is one of the best defensive, if not the best defensive guard in the league. So that one's just really curious, wondering right there, just me rambling right here about this. So let's hop in and talk about the Raptors. I think the Raptors make the most sense for this due to the fact that the Raptors, in my opinion, were already aiming to get Giannis, while the Celtics, I don't think they were ever thinking about getting Giannis. So I think the Raptors were ready to make some changes if needed to be so. Look, I think the deal would have to be, they would want it to be Kyle Lowry because he's the oldest player. But I don't think the Rockets will bite and be like, look, yeah, Kyle Lowry's worth $30 million, but they're not going to do it. I think it's going to have to be Pascal. And everyone's going, no, not Pascal. I know Pascal had a really bad bubble, but everyone's told me in the comments, all the Raptors fan, thank you, shout out to everyone who commented on my video, on the Raptors video, tell me that the reason why Pascal had a bad bubble was he didn't touch basketball for months, and he was really rusty, and it wasn't that he choked. He wasn't in the shape, basketball readiness, and I really hope he has a great year this year. But if they do want to land James Harden, I think Pascal's going to be the guy that they're going to have to give up. I mean, unless they could package not James Harden, but Kyle Lowry and OJ Anunoby, maybe Stanley Johnson, Malachi Flynn, Terrence Davis, Matt Thomas, maybe O'Shea, Brissett, any collective of those young guys, maybe Norman Powell, and just as many picks as they can, they could get Kyle Lowry over there because they would love to keep Pascal for James Harden. But I just don't see in a world where they're trying to do this trade that they'll be able to negotiate a way to keep not keep Kyle Lowry, and keep Pascal Siakam, because Pascal Siakam, maybe he's not as good as we think, but I think he is as good as we think. And he just had one bad stretch due to the circumstances we are. So I think there should be an asterisk right there when people bring up that. And I really think the problem is the Houston Rockets are gonna be like, look, we'll take we really just want Pascal Siakam, because they could take the Celtics offer where it'll probably be Jaylen Brown, which is way better than Kyle Lowry, and a bunch of other guys and picks. And because they already have John Wall, so they wouldn't do that. So they would want Pascal because he'd go in the power forward, small forward position they want next to Christian Woods and DeMarcus Cousins. But then you're thinking, man, what if we just get Jaylen Brown, maybe even Marcus Smart, and some picks from the Celtics? That's a lot better than just Kyle Lowry and just a bunch of role players. I think Pascal Siakam would be great. I think Pascal Siakam isn't as good as Marcus Smart or Jaylen Brown, but I think the Celtics, I don't know if they have enough draft capital, or I don't know if just Jaylen Brown and a bunch of their role players, the role players on the Raptors are better. So if you think about it, if they're just offering Jaylen Brown and role players to fill it up and not Marcus Smart, I think Pascal Siakam and a bunch of their role players is better, because OG Anunoby, I don't know why I said OJ. I hope I didn't say that wrong earlier. I feel so dumb if I did. That's on me if I did. He's a better deal than just Jaylen Brown and a bunch of their guys. But that's just my opinion. I would love to hear your opinions down below. It'd be really awesome. Thank you for listening to the video. If you made it to the end of the video, that's really awesome, guys. I really enjoy making these. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you guys do have a great day, because pretty much I know I will. See you next time, guys. But peace out. I really do hope you guys have great. My dog actually stayed quiet for this whole video. Awesome.